I am Jimbo Paris, and you are listening to the Jimbo Paris Show. Okay, this is Jimbo Paris, and today we have Dark Joseph Ravine. Let's see what he has to say. There. Hey, sorry, we're getting.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So, can you begin by telling me who you are, what you're about, and what your message is?
So I am Dark Joseph Ravine. I am a social media influencer. I dedicate my mission to promoting positivity and kindness all over the world as much as I can with everything that I have to offer. I'm a firm believer in, treat people the way you want to be treated, and what goes around comes around. So I'm hoping to make a positive change in the world with all that I have to offer, especially, being in the public eye and everything. I think, the world needs more kindness. You understand what I'm saying?
Interesting. And where did you get the name? Dark Joseph Ravine.
So originally I was supposed to be called Joseph Ravine, but when I was growing up in high school, a lot of people called me Dark Joseph. And so I kind of took the time to think about it, and I thought that maybe the name was very theoretical and probably would represent kind of my persona in a way that's theoretical. Like, I'm called Dark Joseph Ravine because my job is to fight against the dark and to destroy dark and put light into the world. So we fight negativity and we create positivity. So, I'm also I love everything about like theory and into depth meaning of things. I graduated with a degree in philosophy, so we learned a lot about critical thinking in depth. So
what is your philosophy?
My personal philosophy is kind of knowing about the meaning behind everything, and to kind of see everything the way it is, and to see the full picture of something, and not just to look at it from the perspective of how you want it to be. I feel like life is more about, what you have to understand, and not necessarily what you want and what you wish for. Kind of more appreciating the surroundings and figuring out what to do with what you already have, instead of wishing you had things you don't have, if you understand what I'm saying.
What did you have growing up?
What did I have growing up? I wouldn't say that growing up was my best experience. I had a lot of bullying, a lot of teasing, racism. I grew up, being discriminated against a lot, left out a lot, very mistreated, very hurt by lots of people. And so that's another reason I dedicate myself to kind of making sure that even the young generation and the future generation for children and preteens and even teenagers kind of grow up and have a happy childhood and a happy teenagehood, so that, they'll grow up to be happy people and they'll do good things. Because, you have to really be careful how you treat a child, especially knowing that one wrong move can permanently damage someone. You really have to be careful what you do as a person. And so I want to also be like a self-improvement person, and also a positive motivator as well, so that I can help people. My whole goal is to help people so that, they live better lives. Their lives are changed for the better.
How did you overcome it?
So it was very hard to overcome, because I got mad about, the fact that I made a lot of mistakes as a person, and that I did things I shouldn't have done. And, I also did mean things, I'm not going to deny, but I mean, we all do when we're children, we can all do things like that. But I definitely had a hard time overcoming it, because I was so mad about myself that I had a hard time taking no for an answer. And I was, going after people who didn't want me as opposed to people who did want me. I didn't give myself the chance to find, real friends and people that cared about me. And instead, I just ran after people who hated me for a very long time. And so I am sorry about the fact that I did that. And I am, not happy about it. But you know what? You can't become better in life if you don't learn, And so I learned, and life is great right now. And, if you can go from sadness to happiness, then what does it matter?
Why do you like arcades?
I've always enjoyed, like, this is going to sound crazy, but I've always enjoyed being like the center of attention and people seeing, me like people in general. Like I love people. And so I love being in front of people when they see how something is done, and, how they think it's amazing and impressive to see how I win and how I play. I remember I used to go to the arcades very often a long time ago when I had my depression stage, and that was my source of happiness at the time. And so it was hard to overcome but as time went on, I started going into, the public eye and becoming famous, and, I became happy like this, being in the public eye makes me so happy, and I enjoy it.
Where did that enjoyment take you?
The enjoyment personally took me to the path where, because also not only was I bullied, but I was put down a lot, and I was, always belittled, and people always made me feel less than what I am and made me feel like, I never should have been born. But, the public eye in general and having a fan base and people saying good things about me, I feel like it kind of really boosts me up and makes me feel like at least I'm cared about, and at least people are saying good things about me. Of course, there's also haters and everything, but when you also look at the positive responses from people and the fact that people are bringing you up and giving you a good name, you always feel, that makes me much happier. And I think that that's what we all have to look for in life, to find something that'll make you very happy. It does take time to find happiness, but I believe if you work hard, you'll find it.
When did you have to work hard to find happiness?
So I would probably say around my high school and university stage, I was still not very happy as a person. But as I started to realize what I was interested in and what I liked to do, such as, social media, the arcade, things that I enjoy doing as a person, I kind of looked to see if there was any way I could make something big out of this, something that, would change my life around for the better. And so, I had a Guinness World Record with the arcade as well because I was very good. And I also did a lot of, giveaways and donations because I'm a big giver also. I love to help people also with giving. Of course, I'm not going to go broke for someone, but, do my best with trying to help as much as I can, but, in general, I always try to think about how I can relate my interests to my positivity and kindness that I want to use around the world, and how I can make a difference and how I can make changes over time. And so I'm always focusing on self-improvement and what to do to become better in the future.
How did you better yourself?
I bettered myself when I found that, I found more like, how to make myself more known and how to make myself more likable and what steps I have to take to become more respected and for people to see me as a good person and not think of me in the negative. And so I kind of thought that maybe I had to do something more on the heroic side, such as helping people in need or, giving to people in need or things like that. And so, even though I am all about positivity and kindness, you do have to know your boundaries of who to give it to and who not to give it to. You have to give it to people who want it, who need it, who are looking for it. Never do what's not asked for or give it to people that don't want you. You have to, try to think about the balance of what makes you better. And so, I kind of found happiness when I started doing more heroic things, and I came off as someone trying to make a difference. And so, I'm all about that. And I hope I can pursue that over time to really, really change the world for the better and to make a difference and to, come off as somebody people would want to learn from, would want to respect, would want to say, oh, he's such a helper. He really cares for people. This is a great person, and I feel like I'm fulfilling my kindness mission by doing that, because that's my end goal with the kindness mission.
What was the first step?
The first step to finding the kindness mission?
Yes.
The first step to finding the kindness mission was learning about morals and ethics, and learning about how life has its rules in life, that if you don't treat someone nicely, you're going to suffer, or if you don't, if you bully someone, someone's going to bully you, or, things like that. And so when I started learning about morals and ethics and learning about, the traditions of being good to people and what goes around comes around, I started to think, I need to put more kindness and more positivity in the world, because if I want my actions to have a way of coming back to me, I got to promote good things, and I got to show the world the good person I am, and to show how, as mentioned before, how positive changes can occur over time.
How did being put in the Guinness Book of World Records change you?
So I really was happy about it. It was a very hard record to attempt. The arcade I go to, which I'm not allowed to mention, they don't consent to me mentioning it, but they made a donation to actually sponsor the event a little bit. And so with their help, we were able to achieve the Guinness World Record. And by being put in the Guinness World Records, it kind of helped me it really was life-changing in the way that, it gave me a good name on the internet, and it helped me build more a fan base, and it kind of helped me receive recognition for the things I was doing at the arcade and at the time. And so once I had that, then I started to find more about how to market myself, to make myself more known, and how to, become bigger and try to do bigger things. And, I'm the kind of person where I believe if you were given opportunities or you're given anything, honor it by helping others with it. And, kind of focus more on, sharing your success and the things you have with other people who may not be as high as you are, because, you have one thing 1 minute, you could lose it the next minute. You're successful today, you could be a failure tomorrow. So life is so unpredictable, and you never know what can happen. So, I am a firm believer, honor every opportunity you have in your life, because if you abuse it, you lose it.
When you won that record, what was the first thought going through your head?
I was very excited. I was also shocked. I thought, like, oh, for sure we're going to waste our money, and we wasted a lot at the time. And I thought, for sure, I don't think I have a chance. I feel like, only specific people succeed in life, and not everybody does. And, I didn't give myself enough credit at the time, but, once it happened, I thought, maybe there's more to me than I know. And you have to start thinking more positively and giving yourself credit for what you have a dream of. And, I always tell this to everybody, that whatever you do as a person, make sure it's your true passion, and it's something you care about, and something that surrounds you. Because if you do something that's not something you care about, or you're doing it to please people or to promote yourself, then you're just being dishonest with yourself. You have to live an honest life, and you have to live the truth if you want to be successful. For me, kindness is so important to me, and it's something I care about mostly. Because, when something can make a difference, you should be the one making that difference. And, I'm very passionate about it, and I want to use it in every possible way where I can, you know, help everyone.
Why did you write the children's book?
So I wrote a children's book talking about anti-bullying because what happens in the book, which I have yet to release it, there's a boy that's getting picked on, by his classmates and the parents and everybody. And what happens is everybody that's picking on him is suffering in the book, and bad things are happening to everybody that's picking on him. And so I kind of reveal a message to even like schools and teachers and students and parents to know that, when you hurt somebody or you are mean to somebody because of who they are or what they have or their problems or anything, pain and suffering has a way of coming to you. So that's a lesson to be taught, because everybody that ruined my life and abused me in my past, they all suffered and became nothings over time. And so, and so I want people to learn in life that, you don't abuse power, you don't abuse people, you don't mistreat people, because you will suffer in the end for it. And if that's the path you've chosen, by all means. But I'm telling you that, nothing ever lasts forever. And if you want something to last longer, it's better to take a positive and a kind route than a negative route. And that's what I teach people. But at the end of the day, I always tell people I'm a free range, freedom type guy. Whatever you do is between you and whoever else is involved. You have to decide what's right for you in the heart. I'm nobody to tell anyone what to do. All I can do is give you my perspective and tell you what can happen if you do this and what can happen if you do this. But at the end of the day, as mentioned, I'm a freedom person. You have to decide what's right for you. So I always tell everybody, follow your heart and do what your heart tells you.
I'm interested to know, what was your experience with bullying?
So what happened was, I had a bit of learning issues. Like, I had ADD, I had learning disabilities. I didn't understand things very well. And so I was picked on a lot for not being able to do certain things. And, everybody telling me because of how I looked that it's dangerous, and that, my physical appearance, is putting everyone else in danger, and I'm to blame for everything. And I always ruin everything for other people. And, so they were making up a whole bunch of lies to kind of hurt me in all kinds of situations. And so they were doing really mean things. And I can understand why they were temporarily successful, because I do want to tell people, whoever's listening into this podcast, that, when you help benefit people, it's a good way of making yourself get respected. And anytime in this world, if you ruin anything for anybody, anytime you ruin things for people, it's the number one good way of getting hated. And so that's another thing I should definitely tell people, never, ever ruin things for other people. Be careful with that, because at the end of the day, if you want to be respected and you want people to like you and you want people to see you in the positive, you have to, butt out of what's none of your business, and don't get involved if someone's doing something negative. Only of course if it's someone you care about and, you want to help them, then in, life and death situations and things like that, we have to take that seriously. But, if something's not serious, but it's bad, let them be the one handling it, not you. Because the minute you get involved with someone else's problems, they're going to hate you. And so, I kind of, try to teach people that it's important to understand these concepts in life, and to know that, that lying doesn't, all the lies come out in the wash in the end, and negativity comes out in the wash in the end. And so all these people who damaged me, growing up, and who hurt me, even though I was damaged for a very long time and I didn't learn very well, they've all paid the price. They've all suffered for their evil ways. And some of them today are begging for friendship and don't have any friends. And, you can't really expect to maintain friendships when you can't treat people nicely, and you can't compromise, and you can't be, you have to be, give and take on both ends. You do for me, I do for you. You have to understand that, you have to be fair with all of the people around you. A lot of people sadly miss that class.
Well, you just explained the basics of respect. And, we sort of live in a society now where we believe respect has to be earned. But I think respect is actually a right that we should all have.
100%.
You look like a man that may have some chips on his shoulder. Am I wrong?
Some tips on my shoulder, like as in like advice to help people, like therapy in a way.
So what I mean more so is you wanted to grow yourself and you wanted to sort of prove those people wrong.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sort of have that in me too. So I respect that.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that. Let people's words not affect you because it has no meaning. Everyone's opinion is just their opinion. Whatever's meant to be will be, no matter who, what, where, when, why, how. Everybody can say what they want. That's another reason why I don't care about bullies and haters and things like that. And that's why it was a good thing for me to become famous and to learn from celebrities and to see how the press works and everything, because I learned in life that everybody's opinion has no meaning. Whatever's meant to happen to you will happen to you. And you have to find favor into realizing that you're not going to ever please everybody. You're not going to make everybody happy. There'll be people who love you, people who hate you, and focus on the people who love you and focus on what truly matters and not what doesn't. And I can assure you could live the happiest life ever.
Have any of your bullies ever seen you today?
I think one of them has. And I think I told her that, yeah, you remember when I was a big loser? And then she told me, I don't think you were ever a loser. I mean, she doesn't remember, but,
Sure.
I have a very good long-term memory. The crazy thing about me is that I remember from many years ago, but my short-term is horrible. I know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? I can remember what happened 20 years ago, but I don't remember what happened 2 days ago.
You have dyslexia?
I wouldn't say 100% dyslexia, but definitely I do struggle with learning still. I'm sure we all do, though. I think dyslexia is something that everybody has somehow in life. And it doesn't necessarily need to be academically. It could be emotionally. It could be with, realization. So I would say that everybody has dyslexia somehow, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Now, to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
What was your experience being on a reality TV show?
So I actually liked it a lot. It hasn't been published yet. I'm still waiting to hear about it. It was actually very fun because, to tell you the truth, I feel like this person that was being put down a lot, put down like by all the haters and mean people, I came to the rescue and made him a somebody. So I kind of come off as the hero that's there to change his life for the better and make him known and things like that. And I feel like it's very much the story of my life, how I was let down a lot and put down and belittled for many, many, many years of my life. And so by being in the situation like that and then proving everybody wrong, which is what I did, I feel like it's exactly, I wouldn't say exactly, but very close to the story of my life. So I resonated a lot with the reality TV show.
Now, I just want to push this out into the air here so we're not giving the wrong message. The good old saying, success is the best revenge. That's what
People
you call it.
Success is the best. I think it is. Yes, absolutely. It's the best revenge because,
we're not saying go out and attack the people that wronged you, Remember that.
Absolutely not. You never attack the people that
Yes.
wronged you. But what you do is you show them, I'm successful now. You thought wrong of me. You don't ever fight against people that, said anything, but you show them, you weren't wrong. I knew I was capable. You tried putting me down. You were wrong. And it's good to prove people wrong, because then you show them that their opinions mean nothing.
Now, we've talked about the people you've proven wrong.
Yeah.
When you connected with those good people, were there any people that you motivated?
I would say there were quite a lot, because I have also spoken in front of, communities and people, about learning lessons and about understanding things. One major topic I talked about is how jealousy can be the root of all destruction in life and can really destroy people from within. And to know that, life is only temporary and there's no reason to be jealous, because we're only in the world for a short period of time. And once you leave, it's gone forever. There's no reason to envy other people, And so, I say whatever happens to you, and whatever you get what you get. You say thank you. For example, I get media opportunities with people who may not be as big, but it's still the thought of them willing to be there for you and talk to you and interview you, and the thought of their kindness of having you, feature you and everything. That is something to be thankful for, and that is something to honor and appreciate, and to know, you can have nothing. And, so anybody who does for me, regardless of how big status, I don't care about how big or small you are. When you do for me, I appreciate it and I honor it. And I thank anybody who does. And that's what people need to learn in life. Don't just turn away somebody just because it's not what you want. Appreciate that at least you're getting something, because you could get nothing. And this is something I am very passionate to teach people as well. Gratitude, gratefulness, loving and honoring what you have and what you were given as a person. And so, that's what I hope to motivate other people to learn about.
How do you practice gratitude?
I always practice by saying, thank you that I have this. Thank you that I have that. Thank you for this beautiful blessing. Thank you for a roof over my head. Thank you for food to eat. Thank you that I can still survive. Thank you that I can live this life happily. Every day I'm always saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And when you do that, life will become better over time. There's so many people, as sad as it is, I'm not trying to sound mean or anything, but they don't know how to appreciate and say thank you. And because they can't say thank you for what they were given, that's why some of them don't have an easy time getting through life. And that's why they don't get anywhere. Because, there's no reason, in my opinion, there's no reason why you should get any more or anything else besides what you have, when you can't say thank you for what you already do have. Then that's just like, if you don't appreciate what you do have, why should you get more? You should lose what you have if you don't appreciate what you have. You have to be thankful. At least it's something, it's not nothing. There's so many people that are suffering. Thank heavens that, you're not suffering.
What are you most thankful for?
What I'm most thankful for is that I have found happiness. And that's very hard to come by. I have found happiness because of, the media, because of amazing friends, because of a wonderful family I have, because of all the good things that have happened in my lifetime that motivate me to become better over time. And that is something that I feel is hard to come by in life. And so, that's what I'm most thankful for. And I'm most thankful that it doesn't matter that I didn't get this when I was younger. I'm happy, better late than never.
Excellent. And I would think that a man who won the Guinness Book of Records in anything would just be talking all about that for this show. But you seem more focused on the community itself.
Yeah, no, I have a lot to talk about. I think that you have to combine as much as you can and kind of be open about every single thing around you and to know about surroundings. Because I think being one track mind would kind of just bore people, you know. People want to feel motivated. You have to engage people. You have to persuade people and let them know every single thing about who you are when you're on a show, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So as I was saying, kind of, do you think that record was just the first step?
Yes, it was. Because after that, I grew a following on social media. People respected me for what I was doing and they liked my content. And so they started growing, started following me, and I started growing like that. But I am going to tell the honest truth that I am a marketer. So I did market myself, and I invested money to promote myself too, which is what I enjoy doing also. And there's not a single person that you saw that goes viral on social media that hasn't invested at least some money to go viral. Most people most marketers, like in no negative way, they claim they don't invest any money to go viral. Usually it's very rare when they don't, but most of them do. Because when you think about it, you think, how would you reach 1 million people in a matter of hours? Usually that's very hard. If you would have to share your link 1 million times in a matter of hours. That's beyond human. You know what I mean? So that's why you can't, you have to think of everything from the logical perspective. When something's not human sense, it's not realistic. And so, you can go viral without investing. Like one of my social media teachings, because as a marketer, you can compromise with other people. You can follow people. You say, if you follow me, I'll follow you. If you share my content, I'll share your content. Like my post, I'll like yours. And, comment on mine, I'll comment on yours. And you can best believe by making connections and communications like that on social media, you could best believe you can grow like that. And that's how you would grow without even investing so much. Investing is more like you take like an easy way out to grow a major following instead of taking your time growing without investing. But anything you prefer as a person, there's always a way for it, whether you pay for it or whether you don't pay for it. There's always ways to grow. That's just my advice.
Let's go deeper on this.
Sure.
How do you turn a skill set into a marketable business?
How do you turn a skill into a marketable business?
What you did.
So I think that to turn a skill into a marketable business, it has to be something that you're very passionate about and something that you feel can change lives for the better. Like, my personalized store, which is Kindness for Success, it's an online store that I have. I just design creative items with my brand image that I find images and I make items out of that people could be interested in, or I design whatever people want. So I wouldn't say my store is life-changing, but it's more something to help people, give them what they want or what they're looking for on items or things like that. I would probably say that in order to make a skill successful in business, it has to change someone's life for the better. Like, for example, you can sell an item that that's made of, let's say if you wanted to make ice cream, and let's say you make it out of fruits, and you make it healthy ice cream so that somebody can enjoy something sweet, but it's also healthy because it's made from fruits. And so therefore it's a life-changing item. On top of that, it's sweet. And on top of that, it's enjoyable. And so you always have to think of, to make skill success, you have to think of the benefits of what you can offer people and how it can significantly impact people. And so the more you keep thinking about that, the better, you'll come up with much better ideas over time. I can be honest and tell you that a lot of celebrities that I'm seeing, I don't think they do life-changing things. There are some that do, but, I always believe the best route to success with marketing, you have to change lives for the better. People will only invest money in things that can change their life. That's what I truly feel. That's my opinion.
Well, you're definitely a credible person because you own an advertising agency.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, so I do marketing within, Instagram or Facebook or mostly social media related or even potentially press related as well, depending what a client is looking for. But my kind of advertising, it's kind of more, it's not necessarily to help get sales on items. It's kind of more made to get the word out about things. Like, for example, I may run a giveaway and I may say, engage with people, subscribe to their website, follow them on social media, subscribe to their YouTube, which is what most influencers and celebrities do, how most of them grow from giveaways. Like if you've ever seen, hey, if you go to Walmart and check out this offer, you could win this or this or this. All this stuff, these giveaways are exactly how celebrities and people who are big on social media got to where they got to. Most of them promoted that way. And I understand why, because, when most people, are exchanging something in return for them to do something, well, of course, they have a chance to win something for free. They're going to do it. But in some situations, in the downside of giveaways, as good as they are, you don't really get a fan base that's following you because they like you and they're interested in you. You kind of get more people that follow you for the giveaway alone, and then they leave you after the giveaway's done. Most of them. On the contrary, though, if you tell them to engage and get to know the person, they could consider you more and they might consider staying with you. They might decide, I like your content, I'm going to stay with you. And so I do think the giveaways have a good impact, but have a negative impact too. But at the same time, if the goods outweigh the bad, then it's worth it in the long run.
If the goods outweigh the bad, it's worth it. That's an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
And when you continue to do this, these, what were some of the offers? Did it include things that you sold on your other clothing brands?
Not necessarily like that. I'm kind of more like, when I do a giveaway, I'm trying to think of more something that can actually help somebody. Like my clothing, I don't think my clothing would, help somebody. I'd rather give away like maybe money or maybe, maybe an expensive item or an electronic. Or at this point, I'm kind of focusing, because I'm on a tight budget right now, I focus more on maybe giving away money, because I feel like if that can actually help somebody, I think that would be great. And so, right now I'm kind of focusing more with everything around me on what would be the most beneficial for somebody, kind of not really like, just giving away anything, kind of really helping people, like really changing their lives, because a small amount of money could come a long way for any of your followers. So, and I think that's a good thing.
And when you were building up your followers,
Mm-hmm.
how did you build good organic traffic?
So we built organic traffic simply by, posting the content during the time I was being promoted. And I kind of introduced to people who I was and what I was all about and where I've been featured and, kind of focusing on the things I cared most about. And as that went on, I started, getting more positive feedback from people that, thought it was great. And so, that's the reality, is that while you get a lot of traffic, you make posts and you reveal who you are and what you care most about. And you can best believe some people will love what you do and support you for it,
What are some of your best success stories?
Some of my best success stories, I would probably say, is to, always count your blessings, never your desires. Always focus on the things that really matter. Stay away from the people who don't want you in life, because they're just going to make your life worse and make you more unhappy. And always surround yourself with people that love you and care about you unconditionally and would support you even if you weren't famous or even if you didn't have what you had. Because the more positivity that's in your life, the more of a chance you have of success and happiness and things like that. And that's what I learned. And my parents were very much the same way, and they found success too. And so that's what everyone should learn, that if you want success, you got to stay positive on the inside of your life as much as you can and keep it happy and positive too.
And the people who watch you, was there any specific person that was transformed by what you did?
Yes, there was a lot of people actually. When I tried to give them motivation to be better and to learn about life lessons and things like that, they have they lived a better life, and they respected me a lot more than before, and they looked at me as somebody to be learned from and to you know to be an inspiration for, and you know and so that's kind of was mostly the motivation, because when people are impacted in the positive and they start to respect you better, then that goes to show you've made a difference. Because earning respect is very, very hard nowadays. You can't run after it. It has to be something that happens organically and naturally. People have to naturally decide they like what you did, or they like you, or they're interested in you. If they don't like you, you don't get nowhere. So you got to work on that, work on your content, and work on who you are as a person, and always be unique in your own way. Like for me, I love to be unique. I love to be different from everyone. I never try to copy trends or anything like that. I try my very best to be different. And I think it's a good thing.
Excellent. And, there's something whirring in the back of my head here while you're speaking. It's about you. So, what industry do you consider yourself a part of? I would consider you a serial entrepreneur, but do you consider yourself a part of the Guinness World Record industry of those types of people? Or are you more of a coach or a counselor, or are you the thought leader type?
I absolutely think that I would probably be more on the leadership side than the than just being in like a record or trying to look impressive. I feel like I'd be more of a leader because I really am all about making differences and actually doing something that matters to the world and actually fulfilling a mission. And so I think that that's very ideal. And when you focus more on instead of not looking good, but more like actually making a difference, I think that's what would help you a lot more, if you understand what I'm saying.
What do you do to enjoy life?
Well, I generally like to go out and have fun with friends. I also like to go to the arcade and enjoy what I do there. And I also enjoy the important things that, that matter to me, finding out how else I could make myself, look good in the public eye, and more about press and about opportunities. And I enjoy, finding ways how I can, be seen as a good person and really help others, and, give people a chance to get to know me and my beliefs and my thoughts and everything about me as a person. And so I like doing all the things I do. I can assure you without a doubt that I'm very happy in my life. Like I have nothing to be upset about.
Excellent. And what about poutine?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of poutine. Poutine's great. I love the cheese and the gravy served atop French fries. Delicious. Best food that ever existed, in my opinion. Usually, I'm into all dairy. I love cheese in particular. I'm a huge
Oh, yeah.
fan of dairies. Yeah.
So you're from Canada, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that made you a bit different?
I wouldn't say it made me completely different. Here's the thing. I think that what makes me different from other people is like getting to know me personally. I am the kind of person where I would not do something just because everybody else was doing it. Like most, I have very uncommon interests. Like most things that I like are probably things most people would not like. And what most people would probably do in following trends or leaders, I would not follow trends or leaders. I follow my heart. And so, I feel like I'm very different in the way where, I would never do something just because everybody else was doing it. I kind of do what I feel is right in my heart, and I do my own thing and forget about what everyone else is doing. And so I think that that's probably what makes me very different as a person. If you understand what I'm saying, about, following your heart and not trying to please people or impress anybody, and just kind of doing what you're most passionate about.
Excellent. And what types of products or services do you offer to your clients?
As of now, we offer, the items I designed personally, where, like they're creative and they say kindness for success, or, people who want to take the stand for kindness and who want to support a kindness movement, and people to join forces and unite for the sake of making the world better with kindness. Also, anything that they want to design, they get in contact with our email right there. Create your own logo is email only, because I would like to get to know clients face to face and know their needs and their requests and who they are, so that they are comfortable with my company and comfortable with me. I think that with business, it also requires connections and trust, and to really, really, work on understanding things that are important, on, loyalty and making people happy in the best way possible. Because I always said to a lot of people, if we don't have trust, we don't have anything. The trust is very delicate. So we need to develop that as much as we can.
Oh, trust with who?
Like trust in particular with people, with friends, with customers, especially in business, that's very important. If you don't have that, you don't have anything.
So it seems, from my perspective, you're a man that likes to publish a lot more informational content. What are the
Yes.
best places for people to find it?
Well, usually when people look me up as Dark Joseph Ravine, they would probably see, the articles I've been featured in where I taught lessons and I talked to them about the things that are important and things that they can be motivated to learn themselves. And, every article that I've been featured in, is always talking about who I am and what I have to offer and what I have to teach people. And I do hope that everything I have, to offer people will also motivate them to realize how strong and how powerful kindness is, and how much it can make a big difference.
Hmm. So I'm assuming you do all this by blogging, making Facebook groups, networking, those
I,
sorts of
I
things.
wouldn't say groups specifically, but more like reaching out to people who have the same belief as I have about promoting kindness, promoting positivity, promoting things that matter. I feel like that's kind of what I focus more on than just, going after anybody in general, because not everyone supports kindness. So, you have to know your audience and you have to know your target audience.
Not everyone supports kindness.
Some people are negative, some people are unhappy. What could you do?
It's quite interesting. And now let's take a look at your website. I want to bring that up quickly so we could start looking at that. All right. So, technical team, can you bring up Mr. Ravine's website? This may take a few seconds. Great. So I think we should change the view there. Okay, good. There, change the view. All
Yes.
right. So this is your website. This is the advertising agency. Good logo. Looks cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Mhm. And as you see, Kindness for Success is right on the side. If people, that's how they get to the store. If they're interested, you know.
Then as you scroll down, what's going on there?
As you scroll down, you start to see more about, how, that I'm offering individualized support. And I try to keep my items, that I design, I try to keep it reasonably priced so that, I know that people are on tight budgets, that way they can, they don't have to spend too much. We also have cheap, tracked international shipping, and any purchase that's made, everybody gets a giveaway. This is what I'm most passionate about in business, that long term, anybody that makes any purchase, you're automatically in for the next giveaway to be decided. So your entries will count when we do our next giveaway. So that means you're on the record and you're in for the next giveaway. And if you spend a certain amount of money there, that's all the giveaway entries you get. And our giveaways are, of course, open internationally. And I'm all about to get openness and unity for everyone. So it's open to everybody worldwide.
You're a very interesting man because you almost run these giveaways like an arcade would.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, nice. So let's scroll back up. So what are the key places you think people should be looking? This site, this page, which ones?
I would probably say it could be mostly my Dark Joseph Ravine, because to tell you the truth, I always learned in business that the more you keep demanding money, the more it's a turnoff from people. And I think it's better people get to know me first as who I am and what I'm most passionate about before deciding if they want to invest their money in my business. You know what I mean? I feel like people have to get to know you first and be comfortable and trust you before they, they go into the business and everything like that. And so, like I said, I'm the kind of guy where if you do anything for me, do it on your own free will because it's in your heart telling you to do it. Don't do anything by force. Don't do anything to please people. Don't do anything to please me. Do what your heart tells you for me, Do it willingly. That's what I'm all about,
Excellent. Do it willingly. Now, what's the next step?
So right now we're focusing more on, on kind of getting more out about kindness and more about, more features about lessons that I have to offer people and about things like that. And meeting with a lot of my, press people, how to, teach more good lessons for anybody that wants to become better and to learn better and, things like that. And as for my business personally, I'm, just living it by day, whoever wants to purchase will purchase on their own free will. And, I'm not going to ride the business too hard,
It's about balance.
Balance, 100%. Balance, boundaries, and budgeting.
Great. What do you mean by boundaries?
Like you have to know your limits in life. You can't go too much on something. You can't force anything. You can't ride things too hard. You have to let everything happen in moderation and naturally and within the flow of time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And when is your when is your book going to come out?
So I'm still thinking about it right now. I haven't decided. My team has to decide if we're going to, if we're going to self-publish or if we want to maybe get it out to other authors or people who may want to potentially publish. We're thinking about it, but, we have to decide if we want to do how we still want to do it. So it'll take some time, but, we want to be prepared for everything. You don't want to jump something right away because when you move too quickly, you can mess yourself over. So everything in time.
Excellent. So this has been an excellent interview. Are there any pieces of advice, final words, phrases, things you want to give out to the audience now?
Absolutely. And I just want to tell your audience, be proud of who you are. Don't change for anyone. Don't try to please people. Let people come to you. Let the respect naturally come to you. And don't feel like you have to force anything in life. If you feel you're forcing anything, it's not a good relationship or friendship or anything. You all deserve to be happy. Make sure whatever you do, you will be happy in it, and make sure it makes you happy. Because if it doesn't, you're just damaging yourself, and you're just ruining your own life. And that's my advice to your audience.
Thank you, Mr. Ravine. This has been a privilege.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored.
Yes. And also just a special shout out to our sponsors, Behind the Power, Allison Roberts' book. Grab a copy. It's an excellent book, and it's a powerful tool for breaking unhealthy life patterns. Mm-hmm. And then our next sponsor, that would be LifeWork Systems, our affiliate partner. That's Judy Ryan. And she's a CEO of LifeWork System, and she's helping companies work together and build a kind culture.
Amazing. Love that.
Thank you again. And support us on Patreon, and also look at our Roku channel. Awesome. I'm Jimbo Paris, and this is the Jimbo Paris Show. Thank you for listening to the Jimbo Paris Show.